Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Sanders Presents. It is the 16th of September, 2021. I'm Greg, and as always, if you're enjoying the content we're producing, please consider following a link in the description below to become a YouTube channel member today and help support us. I see that Cat and Cross are here, so this is just going to kind of be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more fun conversation. I know we've had some heavy conversations over the last bit, but I was going to see. I'm adjusting the camera. I was going to let you lot kind of lead in terms of questions, and I'll offer what I can. In terms of news and scoops and exclusives, nothing too significant or, nothing new that we haven't talked about. So let's see. What was at the Transformers event? So there was a Transformers media event today. It was a licensing event, not Paramount. It was hosted by Hasbro. Unfortunately, it is all under embargo, so there is literally nothing to be said. Hopefully Hasbro will put out a press release and maybe they'll talk about some. What I can vaguely say and what I can vaguely acknowledge is Rise of the Beasts, the new show from Nickelodeon, Transformers BotBots, and the final season of Transformers Cyberverse were all shown off. But again, it's all just completely under embargo. So we're kind of at this interesting time of season. So PlayStation's had its big event. E3 is come and gone. And now we're kind of waiting for the next big push. So Cad Bane is asking, was a trailer for anything shown? Footage and images for different properties were shown. But due to the embargo, it's impossible to be more specific than that. It's just impossible to be more specific. So the next big event that we're going to be covering is the Tokyo Game Show, which is on the, and again, I apologize. Let me check and make sure because I believe it is the 30th of September. And I'm going to check real quick just to make certain while we're talking about it. Yeah, it starts on the 30th of September and it ends on the 3rd of October. And so the Tokyo Game Show is going to be the next big event that we're following, which I'm really looking forward to. And then after Tokyo Game Show, so again, from the 30th of September to the 3rd of October, we're going to be covering the Tokyo Game Show. And then October 16th is DC Fandom. So, we're kind of in this period of there's a lot of big stuff that's about to drop that I'm really, really excited about. I love the Tokyo Game Show. Cross says, at some point we should follow up on the gear discussion in superhero games. I agree. I'm planning to have that scheduled probably for next week because I want that to be a live video. When it comes to kind of those kind of in-depth conversations, I like to drop a video with a topic, and then my idea is to follow up with it with a live topic. So I want to do a live gear discussion, and I won't be able to fit one in this week. That's what she said, but I'm hoping next week to have a date just for a gear discussion in superhero games. But definitely, like right now, it's in my notes for next week for a live video topic just devoted to that. So in terms of everything that's on the horizon, in terms of Tokyo Game Show, I'm really excited for. I miss Tokyo Game Show so much. It's weird. I haven't attended anything since 2019 in person, and 2020 didn't do anything. And a lot of 2021 is virtual. And now I'm in a very different career state anyway. So I'm not even working for the business that I was. It is what it is. So, but I am still excited, even just as a fan, to see what's going on with a lot of these studios and to see what my, colleagues have been working on. And I always like to see and keep abreast of marketing. I like to, I'm that just excites me. That's the kind of stuff that interests me. And DC Fandom, we're going to see Black Adam for the first time. We're going to see the Batman. We're going to see the Flash. We're going to see more on Gotham Knights. We're going to see more on Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. We should get release dates for both of them. That's the rumors going around. Again, rumor is the key word here. Rumors are going around that there's going to be brand new gameplay trailers with release dates. Because I see Cad Bane has asked any new info on Gotham Knights. A lot of it really is just rumors. There's talk about a season pass. Again, I assume if there's a season pass, we'll learn about that probably closer to release date. A season pass seems like an easy guess that literally anyone can make, though. So I don't put a lot of stock in those kind of rumor reports unless there is a visual proof with it, some kind of documentation, or even some kind of, internal poster leak or just something. But we're getting into this point where there's going to be like a drought on information from DC, because DC is really going to just be closing up all of their leaks. DC is going to keep everything as close to the chest as possible so that they can save everything for DC fandom, which I respect. I mean, they got to market it. They got to sell that entire day, and I totally get that. Obviously, the last few days we've had some really interesting conversations that I've been excited to have. I know that there's always going to be people who come across the channel who don't enjoy the content and the type of things that we've covered, and that's fine and that's okay, but I have enjoyed the content that we've covered. I've enjoyed our conversations. So, and again, if anybody wants to follow up on those topics or has suggestions, and my YouTube members, if you have suggestions, absolutely. I'll always be paying attention to that. Cross says, what's your opinion on the Colin Farrell Penguin series on HBO Max? Also, this is the only series other than the GCPD series connected to the Batman, correct? So if you look in the Discord, now you'd have to scroll for a little bit, but I'll scroll and take a screenshot, and hopefully I'll remember. But if you look in the Discord, I noted that there were several projects set in the Matt Reeves, the Batman universe that were in development. Obviously, this is outside of the Batman, which is WB wants to turn into a saga. That's the key word. I don't know. I don't know how many films I know. Obviously, at minimum, they want to do 3 films, but there is a desire to really build on this Batman universe. We're also going to be getting the GCPD, which is internally called Arkham. I assume that will probably end up changing. And then we're also getting the Colin Farrell series. And there is one other series that is in development. As far as I understand, as far as I've understood the production documents, there is one other series set in the Matt Reeves universe that is in development. I don't think... I know when I brought this up before, someone asked me, is it possible that it's Caped Crusader? No, I have it on very good authority that Caped Crusader is not tying into the Batman in any way. It's just merely being produced by Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm and J.J. Abrams. Like, it's not set in that universe. It's just more of like a spiritual alignment, sort of like how Batman the Animated Series launched right after Batman Returns back in the 90s. That's really all that is. But there should be one other live-action project tied to the Matt Reeves Batman universe. Cad Bane, I'm going to quickly get to Cad Bane's question because it's a quick answer. Cad Bane asked, did you watch Gotham? Only a little bit. I had to I had to back away. It was not for me. It just wasn't my Batman material. Okay, now we're going to go to Alexander because Alexander has a more meatier question. You have hinted at Watchmen and Injustice 3. Any speculation if it's the whole team in some capacity or just one or two? I've hinted at it. I've said it outright. I've done more. I've hinted and said it outright. I also have a video from when I initially leaked it. I think last year. It would take me a minute to find the video, so I'm jumping between screens right now while I talk, so I'm not going to see the comments for a minute. But I did do, I have the easiest thing to link, frankly, is right here. This is a playlist on DC Gaming. This is everything. This charts every rumor. This charts pretty much that playlist that I just linked provides everything if you want more in-depth conversation and if you want more depth on how we chart these leaks and these rumors over the last year and a half. The playlist isn't complete, but it has almost every video I've done. There's still a few videos that aren't in the playlist, and for full transparency, there is one video that WB took down, which again, if you were here at that time, then you know why WB took it down. But as it is, everything that I've ever uploaded that hasn't been taken down is just about in that playlist. I'm just not done adding up a few videos here and there. So I will quickly touch base. It's going to kind of be a little bit of an echo chamber if you've watched any of the previous videos I've done. So Injustice 3 has an internal title of God's Will Fall. Injustice 3 is in development at NetherRealm, or was in development, because I know there's a lot of clickbait, and if anybody wants to talk about that, I'm happy to talk about that because of the clickbait surrounding NetherRealm being sold off. So Injustice Gods Will Fall was planned to introduce, and these, I don't know if it's the whole team, these are the only ones I ever saw: Dr. Manhattan, Rorschach, and Comedian. And it was kind of described to me as a tie-in to Doomsday Clock. Obviously, between the situation in the real world, the situation with massive delays in that comic, and then the plans changing at DC Comics with the firing of Dan DiDio, a lot. An incredibly lot has changed, but I am 100%. Now this is me. I am not under the impression that Injustice has been canceled, and I am not under the impression that NetherRealm is being sold. And the idea that NetherRealm is canceling licensed games to work on Mortal Kombat, it doesn't make sense. And I'm going to be very frank and transparent here. So, if you don't know the history of Mortal Kombat was created by Ed Boon and Midway. Midway was the company that developed the old Mortal Kombat games. So again, just a little bit of history. I'm sorry if this bores you, but it's important information. So just to be very clear, Midway is defunct. Midway was shut down, and Midway was absorbed. It was acquired by Warner Brothers. When Midway was acquired by Warner Brothers created NetherRealm Studios that was headed by Ed Boon. But Mortal Kombat, the entire Mortal Kombat license, is owned by Warner Brothers. So in an example that I'll give you, if Warner Brothers chose to sell off NetherRealm, NetherRealm would not get Mortal Kombat to go with them. Warner Brothers would have to agree to give them Mortal Kombat and then sell them off. But here's the thing. Warner Brothers is prepping almost a dozen Mortal Kombat projects. It doesn't make sense that they would sell off the rights to Mortal Kombat right now. It doesn't make sense that they would sell off NetherRealm, which is one of their most profitable studios. It's clickbait. It's empty. I see no evidence of it whatsoever. There is a new Mortal Kombat game in development along with Injustice 3, but as far as I am aware, Injustice has not been canceled, and it has nothing to do with the selling of NetherRealm. Just completely transparent. Alexander says, honestly, I really love the Penguin from the Gotham series. JLam97 says, hi, Mr. Presents. Hello, JLam. Eddie says, when is Daredevil PS5? There is no Daredevil PS5. Insomniac only has, I'm going to be very, again, we got to cut through the clickbait, and my big goal is always to cut through the bullshit. Insomniac only has two major teams. One team right now is making Wolverine, and another team right now is making Spider-Man 2. Both are PlayStation 5 exclusives. There is no Daredevil game in development. Spider-Man isn't slated to come out until 2023. And Wolverine probably isn't coming out until potentially, we can say 2023 if you want to go by the rumors. That's fine, because I mean I'll acknowledge the rumors, but it's very likely that Wolverine doesn't come out until 2024. So anything else Insomniac is working on is potentially even further years away. They are not working on anything else right now. That is the actual legitimate truth, no clickbait. I'm not trying to feed any kind of other information here. I want to really get to the bottom of it. Do I think Venom will be playable in Spider-Man 2? No, I don't. I only am aware of a couple of playable characters, and that being the obvious one, Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Mammoth says they theoretically could do one after Wolverine. And that's true. They could theoretically do one after Wolverine, but that's still years and years and years away. It's just, I mean, technically they could start development on something after Spider-Man 2 comes out, but we're looking at something that's years away. Nothing else is in development. That is the 100% God-honest truth. Anything else is honestly clickbait. Excuse me. I will be right back. Hi. My son woke up from his nap. Okay. Cad Bane says, are you excited for Marvel Spider-Man 2? I am. I love the team at Insomniac. I'm very excited about what they will do. Cad Bane is asking, will Wolverine appear in Marvel Spider-Man 2? Honestly, I have to be honest. Not that I'm aware of. There's no signs yet that there's officially no sign yet that those universes are connected. It makes sense that they would be connected, but officially there is nothing that like hints that they're connected. So I don't want to accidentally feed into that too much. Eddie says, do you remember last year? Ed says, hello, Anakin, the best boy. Hi. Do you want to say hi? I'll give you a minute because I know you just woke up. Okay, so... Oh, Cross said, don't forget to turn your mic back on. I didn't. I kept track this time. So Eddie's going off. The fact is, the earliest X-Men earliest X-Men leak that's ever been done was done on this channel when I said that there was an X-Men game in development, but I didn't know for what. That was the gossip that I heard, and that's what I leaked. Of course, that was the Wolverine game. The Daredevil game, I've never found any basis of it. It's always just been a rumor. And I always like to, I want to be very clear and transparent. It's more important to get to the bottom of something than get to the clickbait of it. That's why, I know. That's why you won't see a Daredevil video on this channel, because it all seemed like bullshit. That's just the honest, that's my honest opinion on it. You're not, there's no Daredevil video on this channel because there's no evidence of a Daredevil game. Yeah, that's the microphone. You could say hi. So again, that's just all there is to it. Okay, so Deadly 8, I just joined. Do you think Spider-Man 2 will be the last Spider-Man game from Insomniac? It's an open-ended question. I mean, as long as it's successful, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony keeps trying to like, hey, you have to make a Spider-Man game. There's two sides to every coin, though. What matters to me is that if the developer wants to make it, then they can make it. If the developer doesn't want to make any more licensed games, then they shouldn't be forced to. That's all I really care about. That's the only thing that's important to me. But it's only 2021. Spider-Man 2 doesn't even come out till 2023. I just don't think it's not a relevant conversation, I don't feel like. I just don't think it's important. Let's see. Death Defender says, are they going to make a new Marvel vs. Capcom or a different Marvel fighting game with the same fighting style? So it's an interesting question because of the rumors about a Marvel fighting game. Now, obviously Marvel vs. Capcom didn't go over well the last game because of all the removal of so many beloved characters and so many beloved mutants, because we know why. Because they were trying to bury the X-Men since Marvel didn't own the license, and Ike Perlmutter's kind of an idiot. And again, that's being kind. As it is, I feel like it's just a lot of rumors, though. I have not seen any actual visual evidence that there is a Marvel fighting game in development. So it just goes into the rumor bin. It goes into the rumor bin completely. Ed says, I agree, bottoms are important. The 007 game, I don't know. As far as I know, after Amazon's acquisition, it was still in development, but it's been silent. So I hope to see it, because I would love to see it. I think 007 would make a great video game, but I don't know if we're going to... I just don't know if we're going to get to it. I know. Here, let me adjust you. Ugh. There. Ugh, there we go. There, now you can kind of see everything. Eddie wants Spider-Man 3 to have Green Goblin. Well, you don't know. Spider-Man 2 might have Green Goblin. Alexander says, my best guess is I doubt Wolverine will physically appear, but there might be an Easter egg about him. You can't touch that. You can't. So, Easter eggs are different because there's a ton of Easter eggs in the first Spider-Man game. I mean, we got Easter eggs to Matt Murdock. We got Easter eggs to Jessica Jones. We got a Luke Cage Easter egg. We got Avengers Easter eggs. So, I don't know. If they throw in a Wolverine Easter egg, it still doesn't overtly mean it's the same universe. I know. Can you say daddy? Daddy. This would be the best time to, since you seem like you want to talk. Can you say daddy? Say daddy. No, he won't. He does say it, but he just won't for the camera. But yeah, I mean, I hope that Wolverine and any future X-Men content is just set in their own universe. I just want them to be separate in the video games. I just want the X-Men to get the opportunity to breathe and to kind of stand on their own. You could say daddy. Alexander is personally waiting for that Indiana Jones game. Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that. Now, that's also a few years away. I don't expect to see Indiana Jones until late 2023 to 2024. I mean, there's so many games that have been announced, and they're not right around the corner. You know what I mean? Whereas there's still going to be a lot of good stuff for 2022, though. I mean, there's still Suicide Squad. There's still Gotham Knights, Elden Ring, Pokemon Legends Arceus, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. At some point, they got to announce Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, Amazon bought the entire... Yeah, Amazon owns everything that MGM owns, which was including the James Bond license. So anything that happens with James Bond has to go through Amazon. Do you want to say something? Hi. Did you want to? Okay. But, so yeah, Amazon's just trying to be another Disney, aren't they? Okay, that looks like we're pretty much caught up. Oh, and Ed said, I love the recent Hitman trilogy. I did too. Really, really good games. Oh, are you yawning? Hi. I love you. Can you say daddy? Oh. What? What? Say it. Say daddy. Daddy. Just get it on video once. Daddy. Come on. Come on. Say daddy. 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 I love you too. Cross asked, did you ever get into Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. As I only ever watched like the original series. I only ever watched the original series. I didn't watch any of the weird spin-offs. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Oh, gosh. You're getting too excited, man. You're getting way too excited because you're choking now. You're choking on your spit. Are you okay? Oh. You just pooped. You totally just pooped. Okay. Ed says a Venom game where you play as MJ hiding behind boxes. That would be such an interesting twist. A horror game with Venom as the enemy. Okay. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their support and for making this content possible. If anyone is interested in supporting the channel and becoming a YouTube channel member, you can follow a link in the description below, and you can support us for $2.99 a month. My son has had a major poop. He is not leaking yet, so I'm going to have to take a few minutes to go and change him. To everyone who joined us and is watching, thank you so much, and thank you for being a part of the conversation. Please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this content with your friends across social media. It helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have a wonderful day. I'm going to go change this poop.